Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Geography with Joy. This is Subhalakshmi and we are discussing about energy resources. Friends, today we are going to talk about a conventional source of energy, that is hydropower or hydroenergy. It's a very important topic and interesting too. I hope you will enjoy my video. It's a long journey and I want you all to be my companion in this journey. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel and like and share my video. Then without much delay, let's start our discussion today. Today's discussion is on hydropower and the points to be covered are introduction to the topic, its meaning and its association with water cycle, production of hydropower, factors that are necessary for installation of hydropower plants, distribution of hydropower plants in India. We will have a look at advantages and disadvantages of installing hydropower plants. We will also discuss about multipurpose projects in India and will give exclusive emphasis on two multipurpose projects. Those are the Bhakra Nangal project and the Hirakud project. And here we go. Hydropower. Running water is an important source of energy. Hydropower is a form of energy that harnesses the power of water in motion. In simple words, electricity generated from water is called hydropower or hydroelectricity. Hydroelectric energy is generated by converting kinetic energy from water into electric energy. To harness this power, enormous hydroelectric infrastructures are built to extract maximum power from this renewable, emission-free local resource. People have a long history of using force of water flowing in streams and rivers to produce mechanical energy. Hydropower was one of the first sources of energy used for electricity generation. Hydropower relies on water cycle. Understanding the water cycle is important to understand the hydropower. The water cycle has three steps. Solar energy heats water on the surface of rivers, lakes, and oceans, which causes the water to evaporate. Water vapor condenses into clouds and falls as precipitation, either as rain or snow. Precipitation collects in streams and rivers, which empty into the oceans and lakes, where it evaporates and begins the cycle again. The amount of precipitation that drains into rivers and streams in a geographical area determines the amount of water available for producing hydropower. Seasonal variations in precipitation and long-term changes in precipitation patterns such as droughts can have large effects on the availability of hydropower production. Production of hydropower. Hydroelectricity is produced from the energy that is released when water falls from a high level with great force. The water flowing in a river is collected by constructing a big dam where the water is stored. Then it is allowed to fall from a height. The blades of the turbine located at the bottom of the dam move with the force of falling water, which in turn rotates the generator and produces electricity. The most electric power comes from the potential energy of dammed water driving a water turbine and generator. The total power generation capacity of the hydroelectric power plants depends on the volume of water flowing towards the water turbine and on the difference in height between the source and the water's outflow. This height difference is called the head. Look at this. This is a water turbine. A water turbine is a rotary machine that converts kinetic energy and potential energy of water into mechanical energy. Now, let's talk about the factors that are necessary for installing hydropower plants. First, the topography. Rapids and falls in mountainous regions usually offer very good sites for hydropower generation. Perennial supply of water is of great use for generation of hydropower. Suitable climate. Rivers should not freeze during winter. Water should be silt-free. A gorge between the two hills is the most suitable site for building a dam. Flow of water should be uniform. There should be sufficient demand for electric power. There should be good transport and communication system as well. There should be enough scope for electricity supply so that the loss of electricity is minimum in transmission. Cheap raw materials. Availability of cheap raw material and cheap labor for the construction of hydropower stations and laying down of power lines are necessary. Cost of iron, labor and cement have large influence on the construction cost of hydropower plants and dams. Capital requirements. The harnessing of water power plant is an expensive task. The initial capital requirement in building dams, reservoirs, power plants and laying down the transmission lines are a costly affair. Lack of other energy sources. The hydropower projects are more successful where other sources of power are not available. In countries where coal and petroleum are available in abundance, electricity is also generated with them. Solid rock structure or geological stability for construction of dams are also important. Distribution of hydropower plants in India. India is endowed with a vast and viable hydroelectric power potential, of which only about 25% has been harnessed. Most hydroelectric power plants in India are associated with multipurpose projects on river valleys. Such projects are developed to serve more than one purpose, for example, flood control, generation of hydroelectric power, prevention of soil erosion, fishing, tourism, and transportation. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru called these big river projects as the temples of modern India. Some of India's leading multipurpose projects that have promoted the development of hydroelectric power are the Damodar Valley Corporation Project, the Bhakra Nangal Project, the Hirakud Project, the Tungabhadra Project, the Kosi Project, the Chambal Project, the Gandak Project, the Nagarjuna Sagar Project, the Beas Project, the Narmada Valley Project, the Sardar Sarovar Project, and the Tehri Project. The rivers of northern India are more suited to the generation of hydropower where they descend the Himalayas. States that are important for hydroelectric power generation are Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Odisha, Sikkim, Meghalaya, and Manipur. In peninsular India, hydropower is generated where the rivers descend the Ghats. Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka have well-developed hydroelectric power resources. In Deccan, the river flowing through plateau is very swift and there are many waterfalls on the way. So, this helps in power generation. There are many areas rich in mineral resources along with ideal sites for construction of dams. Thus, it serves the dual purpose of supplying hydroelectricity to the industries as well as helping in promoting agricultural and industrial development. Have a look at this map. It is showing India's famous dams and multipurpose projects that are built across the rivers which are flowing in the country. In this video, we will exclusively discuss on two multipurpose projects. Those are Bhakra Nangal project on river Sutlej and Hirakud project on river Mahanadi. Let's proceed. But before that, let's have a look at the advantages and disadvantages of hydropower. First, the advantages. Hydropower is a clean and non-polluting source of energy. It doesn't produce any greenhouse gases and prevents us from the harmful effects of global warming and helps fight climate change. It improves the air we breathe. It is a renewable and inexhaustible source of energy which can be used again and again. Hydroelectric power plants make it feasible to utilize other renewable resources. It increases the stability and reliability of electricity system. The dams built to produce hydroelectricity help to save and restore water for consumption and irrigation. It also protects the water table from depletion. It is economical and sustainable as it saves on fossil fuels and is cheaper than electricity produced from fossil fuels and nuclear power. It provides clean and cheap energy for today and tomorrow. Hydroelectric power plants offer a significant contribution to overall development and thus improves the quality of life. It also offers recreational opportunities. The lake that forms behind the dam can be used for recreational opportunities, offering activities such as fishing, boating, and swimming. The lake's water can also be used for irrigation purposes. Apart from this, large dams become a hotspot for tourist attractions. Coming to the disadvantages of hydropower plant. Location is very important for the construction of hydropower projects. Regions must be mountainous or hilly so that water falls from a height. The supply of water may fluctuate, thus affecting the generation of electricity. Almost all the power projects face the problem of silting. The cost of building dam is quite high. Building a large dam may alter the natural water table level. It may also cause serious geological damage like triggering earthquakes in the area. Hydropower plants can adversely affect surrounding environments. Hydropower systems interrupt the natural flow of a river system. This leads to the disrupted animal migration paths, issues with water quality, and human and wildlife displacement. It may lead to the risk of local droughts. It may also lead to the risk of floods in the lower elevations as the areas might get swept away when water is released in full force from the dam. Building a dam can lead to serious conflicts between neighboring countries if the same river is flowing between two countries, as it will interrupt the natural flow of water from one specific direction to another. Hydroelectric power reservoir emits vast quantities of carbon dioxide and methane gases, which lead to an increased level of pollution. Coming back to multipurpose project. Now, what is a multipurpose project? A multipurpose project is that which simultaneously serves several purposes. A dam built across a river often serves more than one purpose at a time, like flood control, irrigation, hydroelectricity generation, soil conservation, navigation, fishing, tourism, etc., and is termed as a multipurpose project. In India, these multipurpose projects were drawn up on the model of Tennessee Valley Authority in the USA. I have already told that we are going to discuss about two multipurpose projects in India. They are Bhakra Nangal project on river Sutlej and Hirakud project on river Mahanadi. Let's start now. The Bhakra Nangal project. It is the largest multipurpose river valley project in India and the highest straight gravity dam in the world on the river Sutlej, a tributary of the Indus. It was developed in 1963 to convert large tracts of barren land in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Himachal Pradesh into fertile agricultural land, control floods and generate hydel power, all at a cost of rupees 236 crores. It is a joint venture of the Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan government. Look at the postal stamp displaying the Bhakra Dam on it. On 22nd October 2013, the Government of India approved the release of a commemorative stamp to mark the 50th anniversary of the Bhakra Dam. The project comprises of the following: construction of two dams at Bhakra and Nangal to hold up the water and create a sufficient head, the Nangal Hydel plant, powerhouses and the Bhakra canal system. Now let's discuss each one of them individually. The Bhakra Dam. The Bhakra Dam is built across the river Sutlej near the border between Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. Have a look at this picture. This is Bhakra Dam. The 90-kilometer long reservoir of Bhakra Dam is known as Gobind Sagar. It has a storage capacity of 9.3 billion cubic meters. The Bhakra Dam has 10 power generators with 5 on each side. The power generated at Bhakra Dam is distributed among partner states of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, Chandigarh and Delhi. The Nangal Dam. The Nangal Dam has been constructed at Nangal on the river Sutlej in Punjab. Have a look at this picture. This is a beautiful view of Nangal Dam. It is about 15 km downstream of Bhakra Dam. The Nangal Hydel channel is about 64 km long and 44 meters deep. It is only an auxiliary dam and serves as a balanced reservoir for the Bhakra Dam, diverting water into the Nangal Hydel channel. Next is the powerhouses. There are 4 powerhouses under this project. They are at Ganguwal and Kotla on the left bank of the river and Bhakra and Nangal on the right bank of the river. In addition, there are the Guru Nanak Thermal Power Plant at Bhatinda and the hydroelectric power station at Pong Dam. The Bhakra Canal System. It is a lined channel of 172 km long with a full supply capacity of 354 cubic meter per second. The Narwana, Fatehabad and the Bhakra main branches take off from the Bhakra main line and through distributaries irrigate areas of Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. The aims of this project are to provide water for irrigation, to generate hydroelectricity, and to prevent flooding from Sutlej-Beas rivers. Have a look at this beautiful picture. This is the Bhakra Canal System. The Bhakra Canal System is designed to irrigate an area of about 15 lakh hectares in Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. This scheme has enabled these states to increase the production of food grains and cash crops like sugarcane, cotton and oilseeds. The next important multipurpose project is the Hirakud project. The Hirakud Dam, also called as Mahanadi River Project, is built across the river Mahanadi about 15 km from Sambalpur in the state of Orissa in India. It was built in 1953 and was formally inaugurated by the then Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru on 13th January 1957. The multipurpose objectives of this project also were irrigation, navigation, generation of hydel power and flood control. At a length of 4.8 km, the Hirakud Dam taps the water of the Mahanadi in its hilly tracts in the plateau region. Have a look at this. This is an Indian 100 rupee note where the Hirakud Dam is imprinted. And this is a postal stamp of India. A commemorative stamp on Hirakud was released on 29th October 1979 by the Department of Post. The Hirakud Dam is considered to be the longest earthen dam in the world. The dam is more than twice the area of Sri Lanka. Its installed power generation capacity is 347.5 megawatt. Orissa, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh benefit from this project. The main purpose of this project was to control floods. Hence, 3 storage dams were constructed across the river Mahanadi at Hirakud, Tikarpara and Naraj near Cuttack to control floods. This is the Hirakud Dam. It is one of the first major multipurpose river valley projects started after India's independence. The dam is flanked by 21 km of earthen dikes on both the left and right sides. It also forms the biggest artificial lake in Asia with a reservoir holding 743 square kilometers at full capacity with a shoreline of over 639 kilometers. The dam regulates the flow of the river Mahanadi and produces hydroelectricity through several hydroelectric plants. There are 2 observation towers on the dam, one at each side. One is Gandhi Minar and another is Nehru Minar. Both the observation towers present breathtaking views of the dam. The water released by the power plant irrigates the Mahanadi Delta. It has two power plants, one at Barla on the right bank of the dam and other at Chiplima, 22 km downstream from the dam. In addition, the project provides the facility of flood control, navigation, soil conservation, fish culture, and water sports. Construction of dams in specific areas with the ability to generate vast amounts of power can present a myriad of challenges. Even though hydroelectric power plants come with many benefits to the end users, variables exist that can hold back their development. With that reason in mind, it's prudent to weigh the pros and cons of this form of energy when looking to construct one. Friends, that's all for today. I hope you have understood the concept very clearly and enjoyed the discussion thoroughly. This video is a part of the series of videos on energy resources. This is a conventional source of energy. Our journey will continue with a discussion on other resources. Stay connected. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and like and share my video. Thanks for watching. See you again. Till then, take care and have a good day.